Hey Thrivers, welcome to Thriver TV, and today I want to talk about why we end up in narcissistic relationship and the unhealthy modeling. In the last 12 plus years that I've been helping people recover from narcissistic abuse, I really do understand that so much of what we experienced as children is what set us up for narcissistic relationships. And in many cases, this is not about blaming our parents because they weren't necessarily horrible parents, but they were focused on things like survival and putting food on the table and putting a roof over our head. And quite often they were really busy working or providing, and they just didn't have the training to know how to be emotionally present parents. And of course, there are parents of people in this community and all through the world that, of course, are very abusive and neglectful and addicts, or they've inflicted all sorts of emotional, physical, and even sexual abuse on their children. We know that. But I just want to talk to the big range, the general range, the common range of mirroring and programming that has set us up for narcissistic relationships. Now, the first one is the parent where it's conditional love and where you believe that you have to earn love. That this parent, if you don't agree or if you don't grant what the parent wants you to grant, you feel that you are suffering the fears of crap, I call it, which is criticism, rejection, abandonment, and punishment. So therefore, what happens is you hand away your power to go along and acquiesce with what somebody else wants you to be, say, and do in order to feel loved and approved of. Now, this can be a very big thing that can set us up for narcissistic abuse because, again, we hand our power away. We don't assert ourselves, we don't lay boundaries, we don't have our own values or preferences or opinions. And often this is because we came from the kind of family where children are seen and not heard, and you must go along with what I want, otherwise you're not going to feel loved and safe and cared for. It's a very normal thing that so many of us have been through. Okay. Now, unavailable parents, and maybe they were really busy with providing, or maybe they were suffering their own addictions, where they were unavailable emotionally because their emotions were all caught up in trying to survive their trauma and chase their addictions to self-medicate, that they weren't emotionally available for you. So what that causes within you is it's familiar that you're going to bond to people who are, again, unavailable because you're trying to right the wrongs of your childhood. This is what we do subconsciously. We get involved with people and it's like, well, mum or dad, could you please do it differently this time so that I can feel safe and whole and loved? And what happens with narcissists is they are very, very clever at being able to identify what it is within you that's unhealed or what it is that's missing, pretend to be it. So if you have the traumas of the people I love don't see me, are unavailable, replace me, ignore me, act like I don't exist, if that's been your programming, a narcissist works that out very, very quickly and will show up in a way where you feel like they see you, that you do exist, that you're the only person who exists. And of course, you feel like a human being in a desert finding an oasis, and you bond very quickly. And then what happens is once you've bonded, it all gets reversed, and then this person will start ignoring you, acting like you don't exist, invalidating you, being unavailable, missing in action, stonewalling you, all of those things. So that's another program, another conditioning program from our childhood that can really set us up for narcissists. Another one is when your boundaries have been violated, when you have an parent that enmeshes or engulfs you and doesn't allow you to have space or privacy or your own no. And what happens is that you will usually end up with a narcissist who is very controlling, who is jealous, who is possessive, who engulfs your boundaries and violates your space and your privacy and your person all over again. And again, it will feel to you when you meet this person that this person grants you respect, values you, gives you space to breathe. And again, the tide will turn, and this space and this trust and this respect where you could breathe changes to you being smothered all over again. Now, another program that I see a lot of is the codependent parent, the parent who is sick, the parent who is needy, the parent who may be the partner of a narcissist, and you feel sorry for this parent, you're trying to grant them what they need so that they can be strong and they can cope and they can be well, and you have been catering to this needy parent so that they can be well enough to love you and take care of you. And what you will find is that you will be getting into relationships with people who need fixing. A great example of that is the covert narcissist, who is the victim narcissist, who is the one that is always complaining and whining and blaming everybody else and parasiting off everybody and using everybody's energy when they're sick and they're being irresponsible and they're not getting their life together. And this may be the type of relationship that you end up in, or with an addict, somebody who is sick, who's not taking responsibility, and you're always doing the heavy lifting and trying to get them well enough because you feel sorry for them, or you feel obligated, or you feel responsible. But really, at a deeper level, what's going on here is you want them to be well enough to love you, because that's what you were going through in your childhood. So these are just some of the things. These are some of the most common overlying programming structures that can lead us into relationships with narcissists. And of course, a narcissistic parent, whereby there are inconsistencies all the time. One moment you're being adored, and it might be when this parent is parading you around because you've done something that feeds their ego and their sense of importance. And then there's the narcissistic parent, whereby it's been completely unpredictable. One moment you're being adored, which is because you're being groomed, because the narcissist wants you to grant them some kind of duty, your parent does. Or maybe they're showing you off like a trophy as the golden child because you've done amazing things. And then you could be getting the most cruel, dismissive, unreasonable treatment on the turn of a dime, and you don't even know what's coming next. So that means that you've become very sensitive to other people's energy. You're trying to read them in order to know how to be, in order to be safe. And that means that you're not in your own body being able to work out your own barometer of what's right for you and your values and your truths and navigate your life accordingly. You feel like you're taking on everybody else's energy and it's affecting you, and you don't know how to bond in ways where you can look after your energy. And so many of the other things that I'd already described. So I want you to know there is more than hope, because I promise you, in all of these years and these thousands of people that I've helped heal, including myself, and I went through a lot of what I just described to you, There is a way to recover your true self and to be able to be in your body and in life, navigating from your truth and established values and true source. And it completely reverses all of these tendencies and these programs that have made us susceptible to narcissists. I'd love you to have a look at my signature program, my signature healing program, which is NARP, which takes you through a step-by-step process to heal this through to completion and not just survive narcissists, but thrive on the other side of this. And if you want to know more about these deep inner healing processes, please check out my free webinar where I explain it in detail and take you through the actual healing process to reverse these programs. So both of these links are with the video, and please know you're not alone. This is all really common, what so many of us have been through. And there are powerful solutions to come out the other side. I really hope that this has made sense. Lots of love. Remember to like and subscribe, and please share these videos if you think it could help somebody else. Lots of love. Bye-bye.